I guess we're going to get sucked into talking about this Grayson Allen thing today, even as it makes me uncomfortable to treat these college kids as pro athletes and put them under the microscope of shame. Amin Elhassen will be in here at some point, I think. He had the red eye. He had like an awful travel day yesterday, and so he's wandering over here in a fog. But Grayson Allen, if you're not familiar, and Stephon Marbury is joining us today, and Sir Mix-a-Lot is joining us today. Ricky Williams joined us last hour during the local hour and called it Washed Up Day. Stephon Marbury, I like to think of it as Talk to Interesting People Day, but Ricky Williams called it Washed Up Day.
Right. Well, maybe they were more interesting in the late 90s, the guests that we have on.
Right. That'd be a hell of a show in the late 90s. Yes. Stephon Marbury, Ricky Williams, and Sir Mix-a-Lot. Holy bleep, that's a great show. Less so in 2016. But Grayson Allen plays for Duke, and he is quintessential Duke in a lot of different ways. He's good. He's annoying. He's white.
His name is Grayson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so last night, this was not the first time this has happened. He's a dirty player. And last night, he most overtly tripped someone and then flipped out on the bench and then sobbed in the locker room apologizing for it afterward. And I'm uncomfortable with a lot of this because he's a college kid. And I just hate when we do this, Stugotz, when we just bury one of these kids who isn't being paid to play in shame. Because one of the unwritten things in these contracts the pros sign is, look, man, if you mess up, it's an unwritten contract stipulation. If you mess up, we're going to bury you. And that's part of the transaction and being a professional and being paid for what you do. Joey Bofa. What?
Whoa.
Really?
Wow.
And these guys aren't professional. And so I don't like treating any of these college players, immersing them in shame. I think the only time I've done that was with Manti Te'o getting catfished. And it was funny. That's my rationalization, that it was funny, and funny trumps all. Funny trumps empathy, funny trumps all. But I think that I think that Duke is dealing with someone who's mentally unstable. And that was on display for you yesterday. And now you get into one of these situations where you're examining a kid who's not paid and his mental stability. And
that's going to make you even more uncomfortable now.
Correct. It does. All of this makes me uncomfortable. And Coach K at the beginning yesterday, Coach K, because he's lived in a world where he's been the boss for a long time, Coach K came out and sort of stuck his face in this entire thing. Do you need headsets, Amin, or are you good? Okay, you're good. Welcome, by the way. You must be very tired.
Not in a physical sense.
Right.
Not in a physical sense. Honestly, I'm energetic today.
All right, cool.
I got some zest.
It seems like that would be you had a nightmare travel day yesterday. Nightmare. How long were you in the airport?
I got to the airport around 12:30, Dan.
In the afternoon?
In the afternoon.
Wow.
And I am just now sitting down. This is me having just thrown my bags in the room.
Well, what time did you get here?
The plane landed at 8:30.
Woo!
Man.
That's one of the worst travel days I've ever heard inside the country. Inside the country. Sometimes, you get stuck in Thailand. Next thing you know, you're in a prison. I say that from personal experience.
Broke Down Palace. Great movie. No?
Put that on the poll. I like Broke Down Palace.
Okay.
At Lebatard Show. Broke Down Palace. Great movie or not a great movie?
Claire Danes, before she was known as a CIA operative.
Homeland.
Yeah. That's for that.
Okay, you guys, I feel like the energy has just sort of been sucked out of the
show. I'm sorry.
Let's
talk about Grayson Allen some more.
Did that happen?
Let's do that. Guys, let's talk some more about the guy who trips people. Oh, and he had a breakdown.
It's not about what we're talking about. It's just the way you're talking.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the energy that I wanted. Yes. That's
my tone.
Well, now you summoned it. Yes.
Now my tone.
Palace, great movie. Claire Danes before she's doing Homeland. Yeah.
Yes. Now look at what it took to get you passionate. just us talking about the same thing that everybody on the network is talking about.
I can't wait.
Why do you think we started there? Do you think that maybe that was because you weren't where you were supposed to be at the beginning of the show?
That's why. It's like, when Amin's not here, I guess we'll just do a regular sports show. I mean, what else can we do?
Look at the difference in your energy level. Mike, I want you to play back for him because I don't think he realizes just how bored he sounded. I'm going to play for you back the Broke Down Palace exchange so you can see how just slow and 20 seconds of radio I wouldn't want to listen to that was. And that's what you jumped into the cage with. That's where you started the fight. You came out of the rodeo pen. You know what this is? This is you go to the rodeo and the bull's in the pen and stuff, and you're like, and they lift the cage, and then the bull just comes out and poops. Just doesn't. The bull doesn't run around or anything. The bull just comes out and squats. Does a bull squat? Like it's got the cowboy on his back, and he just squats right there.
There's no squatting.
Claire Danes before she was. Operative.
Right.
And then 4 seconds of silence and Sugats goes.
No. Don't even. Because I experienced it. I was there as it happened. I want to play it for Amin because I don't think Amin realizes how bad and how lacking in energy it was that he came in here and it was just insomnia.
All right, Lebatard.
It was insomnia cure.
We don't even have it queued up, do we?
No, they've got to find it. It takes them a minute, even though this show is impeccably produced.
Yes.
It takes them a minute. It's not a fast show.
Shout out to everyone who does their job. That's my shout out today for America. Shout out to everyone who actually does their job. Hey, if a hotel guest calls and says, I'm going to be late because my flight situation's screwed, and you say, I'll put it in the notes, might want to actually put it in the notes. That might actually help. So that the people who are working at the hotel can look in said notes and know, oh, he is coming. Let's not give away the room.
We're going to turn this into your personal gripes again.
I'm just saying, people who do their jobs, I salute you today.
Okay, more energy, though. I like it.
Okay, no, but here, let me show you how you began doing your job today. Right. Listen, I want you to listen to this. Okay. This is Amin Elhassen coming in. First of all, you just wander into the studio in the middle of a segment, and you just you destroy everything.
Yes, destroyed the Grayson Allen conversation.
Yes, well, hey, look, man, I'm not
getting good. Man.
I'm not saying it was good, and I'm not pretending that it was a good conversation. But look, this is how you made it better.
Broke Down Palace, great movie. No,
put that on the poll. I like Broke Down Palace at Lebatard Show. Broke Down Palace, great movie or not a great movie?
Claire Danes before she was known as a CIA operative.
Homeland.
I filled the dead space there.
You filled the dead space. Do you see me trying to lift the energy level? Imagine.
Guy says, Mike, put that on the poll and then stop talking.
Mike, do me a favor. Look at take my voice out of that. Edit my voice out of that as I try to lift the energy level of that conversation. Take my voice out of it. Now you guys can get to listen to what the conversation between Amin and Stugat sounded like without my voice in it, because you can clearly hear my energy level. Guillermo, put it on the poll, like excitedly running around like the rodeo clown as the rodeo bull poops in the middle of the ring. An old cowboy over here just sits on it saying Homeland.
I was trying to help him out, man. You left out an important detail.
And I'm just shaking my hands and I'm running around with Guillermo, another rodeo clown.
Which one of you two guys is the guy with the no clothes on, just a barrel with the straps on?
That's Guillermo. That's Guillermo. And what am I wearing? I've got what do I got?
You've got the
face paint,
the rainbow wig.
Yes.
I got Now, take my voice out of it so you can see the show that Amin and Stugats were doing.
I'm just going to replace your voice with silence.
Okay.
To see what would have happened.
Because you weren't contributing anything either.
I mean, he made it awkward when he walked in here.
I'm replacing Dan with silence here so you can see what would have happened had Dan not interjected.
Listen.
Broke Down Palace, great movie. No? Claire Danes before she was known as a CIA operative.
Homeland. I crushed
That's a great segment.
Don Lebatard.
There is a man named Bizao Dudu Zop Biddy Bop Bop Bop. He lives in Wisconsin.
Stugats.
Allison, can you get him on before the end of the show, please? B zitty doo doo diddy bop diddy bop.
It's Bezow, doo-doo, zop, bitty bop, bop, bop.
All right, let's get him on, please. Let's get him on before the end of the show. And the surgery laser farter.
This is the Dan Lebatard Show with the Stugats on ESPN Radio.
Catch me and Mike Golick Jr. every Sunday for weekend observations from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. The playoff push has begun. Tune in Saturday as Cam Newton and the Panthers host Matt Ryan and the Falcons. Pregame begins at noon Eastern on most ESPN radio stations.
Does this hold up? I don't think this holds up.
Really?
Well, they think it does.
Your Miami is showing.
Yeah, it holds up in one city in America. This one.
Okay, fair enough. Put it up on the poll, Guillermo, at Lebatard Show. Does that Luke song hold up? That is Luke, right? No?
It's definitely not Luke. It's K-Knock of the Quad City DJs. And don't forget about the 69 Boys, an all-star Miami-based cast.
There you go, man.
12 ghetto days of Christmas.
A tweeter writes in, can we just get back to talking about Grayson Allen? Wow, you guys get off topic. I just tuned in. Talk sports.
You don't get the show.
I love how loose and casual this show is, that the guy on the red eye strolls in the middle of the first segment, sits down, and takes a dump on it. I love that. And not only that, some people have pointed out that Amin and Stugats talking in the first segment, absent me telling Billy, throwing up jazz hands and being like, put it on the poll, trying to get the energy level of the show, trying to lift it up by myself, and instead being a hot air balloon that just crashes into the sea. Here is what Amin and Stugats would have sounded like if they were playing $100,000 Pyramid.
Broke Down Palace. Great movie. No? Claire Danes before she was known as a CIA operative.
Homeland.
Yeah! You got the first one in the lower left corner. Let's move to the middle. Let's move to the middle of the pyramid. You got the easy one.
Let's move to the middle.